Welcome to the 6th episode of the Wyoming Knits podcast. My name is Jenny Lee, and I am coming to you from Southwest Wyoming, where I live with my husband and our daughter. I'm also a first grade teacher here in Southwest Wyoming. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. So this is where I like to talk about all of the things that I've been making with yarn, knitting, and my works in progress and finished objects. So today I'm wearing my Autumn League pullover by 2 of Wands. I made this out of the Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend. It's 50% cotton, 50% polyester. The pattern calls for Lion Brand cotton jeans. It's a cotton blend also, so I used this one for me, and then I also made one for my mom with the cotton jeans. I used the light blue color for her, so we could have matching sweaters. I really like this sweater. It's like it's almost like a sweatshirt, and because it's cotton, it's not too hot, it's breathable. I can wear it in fall and in spring, and then my arms are covered, but it's not too hot. My first finished object that I would like to talk to you about is this baby blanket I made for one of my coworkers. Let's see. I started right here. And last time I was right there with the cute little flip-flop stitch marker. And I got all the way finished. I showed this last time. The baby is due in June, I want to say, so plenty of time to get this to her before the baby is born, so she could gift it at the baby shower. The next finished object I have are my socks. These are my Labyrinth Socks that I got from Mermaid Yarn Co. I was about here last time, and I have finished both socks. This was a 70 gram with a 20 gram mini. So these ones are for me. I cast on 56 stitches, 2x2 cuff. I did 20 rounds for the cuff, and on the 20th round I did just plain knit, and then I went into the next color. I did a slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, and then just a rounded toe. So those will be for me, those will be comfy. That's all my finished objects. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whips. We'll start with this one in my Sassy Sacks by Yadi. All the project bags that I use will be linked below, or the shop where you can find bags like them. This is my Big Cozy Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. Last time I was right here, I put on a little bit more. I got to work on this on Thursday and Friday for a couple hours. Today is Sunday, May 7th. So So eventually this will become a cardigan. And I have the main color I'm using is the Upcycle Alpaca blend from Knitpicks. This is the Seaglass color. And for the collar, I'm going to use some Suri from Loco. This is the Elm color. This is a fun little repeat. It's a 4-row repeat. I do have to count when I work on this, so I can't sit and visit and knit when I work on this one. So we'll move the stitch marker, progress keeper up. There we go. The next thing I want to share with you is some socks I'm making for one of the ladies that is going to retire this year. She is moving. So this is some yarn from Backcountry Knitter, and it's the fall foliage color. And about right here. I cast on 64 stitches, did a 2x2 cuff, did the leg. I did 70 rounds for the leg. I like to put a stitch marker here where I start the slip stitches so I can just count so I don't get lost. And then I've got just a little bit more, put in the toe, and then onto the second sock. So, and this is living in my Mountain State Stitches bag. The cute little cork bottom. This one reminds me of summer. And I have my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks for this month. Living in my Fancy Boy Designs bag. This month I have the Dark Crystal. Let's see. And this is what it looks like so far. All my socks I cast on 56 stitches, 20 rounds, 2x2 rib. This one's plain vanilla. Slip stitch, heel flap, gusset, through all of the decreases, and I've got about 30-ish more rows until I do the toe, until I can measure to see how far I have until I do the toe. This is for the Desert Vista 9th Annual Sock Club. I have, oh, I forgot this one. I have my, oh, sorry. I have my scrap witchery blanket that I've been working on. Last time I was down here. This is so soft and squishy. This is the front, and this is the back. I think this is half fisherman's rib. And we've got an I-cord edge on the side. I'm using my Row 1 minis. with a stroll Dove Heather. Holding these double, I'm just reaching in, grabbing out whatever the next color is and putting it in the blanket. So I've got about 2 more months left to do on this one, and then I'll be finished. I've put in the cute little stitch markers. So right there was the end of the first month, and then we had up to the blue. The blue was the 3rd month. So this cute little heart goes with February's colors. And then this was March. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors in March. I'm about halfway done with March. And we'll do April and May, and that should be all of it. I might do June also. My next work in progress, I cast on a new sweater. I'm using this yarn. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce all of those. This is in the shade Wisteria. It's 30% alpaca, 30% linen, 25% viscose, and 15% micro tweed. It's a sport weight. And so I cast on Icy Spring by Joji Locatelli, and I'm only about this far. This is the front. Let's pull up a picture. That's what it's going to look like when it's finished. I think this is the back. So I've only got a little ways down the back. And I think I put these on hold to the front. Or pick up stitches for the shoulders, do the front, and then pick up again. Or go on the round. So I was sad I didn't get to go to the Great Basin Fiber Arts Festival last weekend. My friend and I were going to go, and then my car overheated before I was able to go pick her up, so we didn't get to make it. So I was sad that I didn't get to go to that, so I cast on a new sweater. This is living in my Fates Thread dragon bag. And so because I cast on a sweater, and I was like, well, I'm going to cast on another blanket too. So I took all of my acrylic yarn out of here and put it into a big pile on the floor and sorted it all out into DK, bulky and chunky yarn. And I took all my size, I want to say it's a size 6 yarn on the label. So on here, if it had a 5 or a 6, I'll just put that down there. I put it in one pile, and a 4 I put it in another pile. I have lots of the 4 DK weight. I think 4 is a DK. And then I put my 5s and 6s in piles, and I just grabbed one of my 6s and decided to do the Lily's scrap blanket. This is for fingering weight, and so I looked at the pattern repeat, how many stitches I would need for each repeat, and cast on, and just did four chevrons. This is some leftover from the Winter League pullover I made this spring. This was some yarn that I bought probably at either Joann's or Walmart or something. When I first started knitting, I would go to a store and see yarn and say, "Oh, that's pretty." And I would grab a ball or two, bring it home, and put it in my stash. And then once I was ready to make something, I was like, "Oh, what can I make?" Nope, not enough yarn. Nope, not enough yarn. So it sat in my stash for a really long time. And so I'm going to just make a scrappy blanket with it. And I'll just pull whatever yarn is next in there, or whatever one looks good next to it. And we'll just make a throw blanket, and we'll see how that goes. Try to get rid of some of my yarn that I bought just on impulse buy. I thought it was pretty, and now I don't know what to do with it. So we'll put that in some kind of blanket. The next thing I have is a cast on from this morning. I cast on the Bits and Bobs blanket. It's almost like the Scrap Witchery blanket. I've only got this far. I think this is Fisherman's Rib. I did an I-cord cast on, so I could do I-cord up the side as I was working it. It has you cast on and then do an applied I-cord edging when you're all the way finished. But I didn't want to do an I-cord edge when I was done. I was like, I can put the I-cord on while I'm working on it. So this is some more DK yarn I had from my stash. Some of the oh, that's pretty yarn. I got a whole bunch of Lion Brand Mandala Ombre. This is a 100% acrylic yarn. It's a size 4. And I have this pretty green, pretty purple, some more purple that I started a project and tore out 2 or 3 times, some grays and blacks, and then there's a rainbow color in the bottom of the bag that goes, it's another one of these. I think there's orange and yellow to go with this. So we'll see how far I get on that one. I want to work through some of my yarn that I bought just as I was walking through the store and said, "Oh, that's pretty, I want some of that." And didn't really have a plan. Thought it was soft, thought it was nice yarn, and brought it home. Some of this is also yarn that I thought, "Oh, that's pretty," and I bought a skein or two when I was first learning to knit, and now it's sat in here for 2 or 3 years and I haven't done anything with it. So we're gonna work through it, and then we'll see. We'll be more intentional about the yarn that I buy. I think that was all my works in progress. I do have some acquisitions, some happy mail. I did an order through Twice Shared Sheep. They had their dragon stitch markers and row counter kit. Came with the row counter, the stitch markers, and a cute little dragon tin. I can't resist a good dragon. And I also knew that I wanted one of their slap bracelet sock rulers. So I got one of those to put in my bag. I can wear it on my wrist while I'm knitting socks. And then I have it whenever I need it, or I can put it in my sock bag. This one, I think you put this end in the heel, like that, and you knit until you get to the size you want, women's size, men's size. So on this sock, I've got a ways to go before I even get up here. This one, you knit until that size, and then you start the toe. I have another one from Katrinkles where it has the measurements and then the foot size, and you knit to 1.5 to 2 inches before you want to start the toe. And so I was kind of comparing these, and I was like, oh, those don't match up. But this one you knit until you get to that line, and this one you knit to 2 inches or 1.5 inches before that line, depending on how much negative ease you need. So I'm going to put this in the sock bag so it's ready for me. And I also got some cable needles. I got some bamboo cable needles. I did an order from Desert Vista Dyeworks. I got 3 more colors. I got Monster High. My daughter was obsessed with Monster High when she was younger. I got Crystal Ball Frap, and this one is Witch's Brew. So these will be some fun yarns to do this fall. Oh, I found another finished object. I have another pair of socks. These socks I made for one of the girls I work with. Her favorite color is purple. I showed these last time. I only had one sock finished last time, so I've got both of them done now. So I did 64 stitches on a 9-inch circular needle. I did slip stitch, heel flap, gusset, rounded toe, and I did contrasting color for the toe and the cuff. So now I can gift these to her. I got my Rowan minis for the month of, what month are we in? May. Got the May colors. Got these ones. this month was a cute little crab stitch marker, and the dyer this month was Rising Tide Fiber Co. So the crab to go with that. And I ordered some more chowky needles from, I want to say Handsome Fibers. I'll link that below. It's a shop on Etsy. They package all their needles so nicely. It comes all together. It's wrapped a couple of times with some stiff paper, put in a bag, and then put in like a bubble envelope, so your needles don't get bent at all. They also stamp the outside "Do not bend," so I really like supporting them. And then I got my Dragon Horde sock set. Let's see. Let's take this out. This is I Don't Speak Firefly. This is the Tolkien-inspired monthly sock club. This is on her lower fingering, 85% merino, 15 nylon. And so this will get put up here with the rest of my sock yarn, and put all my Yarnable and my sock sets. This is Desert Vista Dyeworks and Stroll sock yarn, Felici. This is some of my minis, and this was the gem set I got from Junk Yarn. This is all DK. And I got my Yarnable for this month. It came in a cute little zippered pouch. Unicorn Dreams whipped bath soap. Some cute little unicorn stitch stoppers. These are from Fox and Pine Stitches. And a needle size reminder. So on this, it's got needles on this side, hooks on this side, and it's got the little lobster clasp. And so if you have to take your needles out for something, you can find the size you need, and then hook it to your project, so when you come back to it, you know that this one was on a size 8. I don't think that's really the size. I don't remember what size this one is. I think this is a 6. This one's a 6. So that'll come in handy. And then I've got my Yarnable card that tells all about all of the things that came in the box or the bag, and then we'll look at the color. This is called Unicorn Dreamscape. It's on her plush sock. So I'll usually write the month and the year on here, and then stick it right up there. And then that way I know which month's color it is. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with these yet. If they're all going to be socks, or if I'm going to do a blanket with 1 year's worth of Yarnable, or what I'm going to do with those. So that was all of my acquisitions over the last 2 weeks. I will link everywhere I purchased things in the description box below. And until next time, happy knitting!